Welcome everyone to Nikki Loves Books. We do have an unboxing today that we will get to. Before we get there though, kind of wanted to give you some updates about my channel. So once upon a time I did book recaps and book reviews, and I haven't done either of them in a hot minute, and there's a very good reason for that. For those of you who have been with my channel for a while, a lot of you guys are aware that I do have a chronic health issue that I don't talk about, but like I bring up sometimes just because it of course does affect my life day to day. And something that I noticed a couple months ago is that my voice would get really hoarse and like my throat would hurt, and me being me, I kind of dismissed it and was thinking, oh, I'm talking too much because my job involves a lot of talking, and then I do YouTube videos. And so I decided to take a break from doing recaps because those especially take hours of recording, and then also my book reviews, and just planning to keep up with my unboxing until, whatever is going on felt better. And of course I was planning on talking to my doctor about it, but the other kind of kicker is that it gets really hot here, and the chronic illness that I do have is very temperature dependent. And so when it gets really hot and I'm exposed to that, it creates a severe inflammation and heat response on my skin that is equivalent to second-degree burns. So that becomes extremely painful. And so usually come spring all the way up until like when we're really deep into fall, I can't leave my house unless it's an absolute emergency, just because the pain is pretty bad to the point where like I can't even be touched by something else, especially something warm. So like even another person, it hurts me. So I usually go a good chunk of the year without being able to go to my doctor's appointments because of the chronic disease I already have. So when this started, it was just, okay, I'll talk less and I'll talk to my doctor when it's cooler again and I can go see them. And for some reason, I don't know why, things kind of escalated, and whatever is wrong in my throat area is now preventing me from eating solid food. So about 2 weeks ago, I tried eating and I just start choking on food, and no matter how small the pieces of food were, I couldn't swallow it down, which is absolutely terrifying. So yeah, so I haven't eaten solid food in about 2 weeks. I do keep trying every single day, and it's just not working. And as you guys can tell, sometimes my voice is getting scratchy. Like there's definitely something wrong there. I did go to the emergency room just to make sure it's not an obstruction, which it's not. They were going to admit me, and that was something I declined. I have spent a lot of time in hospitals due to chronic stuff with my body, and if I'm not in danger in that moment, I typically try to stay out of the hospital. So that was my decision not to go. Of course, I can always change my mind and go back. For right now, I'm just surviving on liquids until we're able to do all the testing we need to find out what the hell is going on. So that has been the big reason why I've been taking a break from my book reviews and recaps. It was simply because I was trying to prevent this from getting bad because I didn't know what was going on. Unfortunately, it got bad anyway, so we are where we are now, and that's fine. Just know that I would love to go back to my book reviews and recaps. At this point in time, I think it's definitely best for me to wait until we find out what's happening, because it is affecting my voice and I'm unsure if talking makes it worse. So that is where I kind of stand, where I'm like, I want to do the unboxings. I want to keep my channel just because it's something I can still do. And books are truly something that just bring me so much joy, because there's very little that I can enjoy in real life, especially now that I've taken out food. So I just wanted to give kind of a little disclosure of what's been happening with me and why my channel doesn't have what I used to do. So just know that I want to do the book recaps and book reviews. I just don't know if I can. And depending on how everything goes, I'm not really sure if it's something that I can bring back in the future. It will just really depend on what's going on here, how my health is in general, and my energy levels. So just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's kind of stuck it with me for this long and continues to support this channel, even though I'm not doing everything that I wanted to continue doing. So that is my update on me and the channel. Again, I am sorry for not being able to do all the things that I like to do on this channel, but I'm still so grateful that you guys are all here to do an unboxing. And today we do have our Darkly box for June 2024. Let's go ahead and get into it. Taking everything out of the box so far, I'm kind of like, about this box, but I totally forgot this box has a book I was super excited to get. Not wait to get there and we can all look at it together and me be excited to finally read this damn book. But first, we got our newsletter. Welcome to Bookish box. You have choices and options. It then does get into our Bookish box items for this month because it's one newsletter for both boxes. We're going to skip right over that because our Bookish box for June should be here. Well, I would say Monday, but Monday's a holiday and I don't think mail's coming that day. So it might not be till Tuesday. Regardless, look forward to that unboxing on my channel once we get the damn box. Then, of course, it does get into our darkly boxed items, which I skip over because I read that shit when I reveal each item. Thankfully, if we enjoy the books of the month, they do give us some book recommendations. They've also highlighted some items that are available in the Bookish box shop. We have an audio book appreciation month, and they also include our Spotify playlist, which is inspired by the books of the month. We have a word search, which includes hints for our next boxes, and that would be the July boxes, and this is the June box. And lastly, they give us information about their Bookish social fam. All right, and on to the good stuff, which is, of course, the goodies. Our first item says Butcher and Blackbird inspired acrylic book holder. So here are our acrylic book holders. So first thing to know is that there is a film on both of these on the back side. So where the design is, the film's on the back side. It is a pain in the ass to get these films off, but they are protective. So that is why they're there. But as you can see, this is without the film, this is with the film. So there is a difference for sure. So you do want to take that film off. The best way that I found is if you got nails, just pick a corner and just keep playing with it. It will eventually lift up. And then once it does become very easy to get it off. But it's getting that first little piece off. It's just the pain in the ass. Here is our acrylic book holders. And as you can see, the design is inspired by Butcher and Blackbird. So this is how it will go. So it will be on a flat surface like this, and you can stack books along the side. Acrylic book holder. Every serial killer needs a friend. Every game must have a winner, and every person should have an acrylic book holder inspired by Bryn Weaver's Butcher and Blackbird, designed by at Studio Artemy. So I haven't read Butcher and Blackbird, but absolutely have been dying to. I do like this. Well, I'm not crazy about the design. I don't hate it, and I've never had one of these types of book holders. I don't know if I can use it right this second because I'm running out of surface area in my house. But at the very least, it is useful in general. And so I'm probably going to hold on to it because maybe I'll be able to make space for it at some point. Next up, we have this bag that says the Book of Azrael, inspired Blade of Oblivion. This is pretty hefty. So it says sword letter opener. Feel the dark power radiate through realms, making even the old gods quake in fear with this Blade of Oblivion letter opener inspired by the Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole, designed by at Ice Wreath. So this does look pretty cool. Letter openers are pretty common amongst book boxes, so I do have at least one. What I don't like is that this one's pretty thick, so I think it's going to be harder to wield. So I don't know how well this would actually work as a letter opener, simply because it is pretty thick and obviously dull. But it is a really cool design. Unsure if I'm going to keep this. It is pretty, and it is from a book that I absolutely adore. I love the Book of Azrael, and I'm impatiently waiting for Bookish Box to announce that they're doing the second book because I really want to read the sequel. And yes, I can go out and buy the sequel on my own, but I swear to God, every time I just decide to buy the sequel of a book that I got a special edition for book one, is when a company will come out and be like, oh, we're doing a special edition for book two that will match book one. And then I have to buy that because I want my books to match. And then I end up wasting my money on buying a regular version of the sequel when ultimately I'm going to want the special edition. So yeah, I just learned to kind of wait for the special edition of the next book. And sometimes it takes a really long time for them to announce it, and that sucks. I really do wish that if it's a series, if they would tell you like, hey, we are planning to do the sequels, we just don't have an ETA on that yet. That would just make life easier versus me just making a gamble, because sometimes they don't continue a series. But regardless, probably not going to keep this, even though it looks badass and it is from one of my favorite books. Next up, we have this bag that says Flesh and Fire series inspired metal page markers. Oh, these are so cute and they're small. So they're like little metal tabs that have a design. So this one's a dragon and then the other one is a sword. So there's 5 of each of these. Metal page markers. Meet your new reading staple. These metal page markers, inspired by Jennifer L. Armentrout's Flesh and Fire series, add a dash of fantasy and fun to your book adventures. Never lose your place again, and let the magic guide you. 2 different designs. Each pack comes with 5 each, 10 total page markers, designed by At the Bookish Box. So these are really cute. They can be useful. I don't know if I'm going to use them personally. And the reason being is I'm one of those people that like to get to the end of a chapter for where I stop reading a book. However, sometimes shit happens and I'm interrupted in the middle of a chapter. And this might be useful to kind of mark where I'm at. But I do think this is clever and it might be useful to a lot of people. The other thing that I'm worried about is that they are small, which of course makes sense because you do need something light to be on just a page. But definitely as a pet owner, these concern me just in case they do come off my book and I don't realize. I don't want my pet to, pick this off the floor and try to eat it. And that's more of my concern, is that this is such a small item that can easily be knocked off or I drop. And that one of my pets, especially Merlin, is really into putting whatever he finds into his mouth. So I'm not into small things that might drop. All right, and our last bookish inspired item, except for obviously our book and then the sticker that is the cover of the book. And that is our Cabinet of Curiosities. And I'm not particularly excited about these because they are pins and I'm totally over pins and just want 2025 to be pin free. Cabinet of Curiosities, introducing the 6th volume of the 2024 Cabinet of Curiosities collection. This month's theme is Hold Me Tight and Don't Let Go. The featured fandoms are Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver, and that's the rare one. A Touch of Poison by Claire Sager, and that's the extra rare. And then legendary is House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. Designed by at Moonbrat Studio. So stated earlier, I have not read Butcher and Blackbird yet. I have a feeling I will really like it though. A Touch of Poison I have read. That was one of our Bookish Box books this year and I absolutely enjoyed it. House of Flame and Shadow, surprisingly, I have not read, and the reason being is that I promised you guys that I'd always finish with the recap of book 2 first before I started reading book 3. The original recap video of book 2 got corrupted and things with my throat were happening, so I never got to refilm after the video got corrupted. So yeah, I have not read House of Flame and Shadow, which is really sad. I really want to get to it. But regardless, I would probably be happy with any of these. So there is a key that shows you the different designs, and thank goodness, because I would never be able to tell what is from what. The Butcher and Blackbird one does have a skull, and I do like skulls. So I'd probably be most happy with that one. I can't really tell exactly what's on the designs of the other two. It's a pin that's taken down to a really, really small size, so there's probably more details that I'm just not picking up, but let's go ahead and see which one I got. Okay, and this one, it seems to be like there's roses. I think those are roses. Yeah, so those are roses. There's a snake. There's hands at the bottom. So this one is, okay, so this one's from A Touch of Poison. There we go. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It is a pin, so I'm kind of like, meh. Just like a few other Darkly and Bookish boxes that we've been having lately, I don't hate this box, but I don't love it. None of these items are things that I absolutely needed or wanted. So overall, I'm kind of indifferent. But as always with these boxes, what makes it up is the book. And that's ultimately what I get these boxes for, is the book. So the fact that the items are meh doesn't make me necessarily want to cancel Bookish Box simply because I'm obsessed with their book designs. But have I highly consider going to book only? Yes. But then it would kind of take the fun out of unboxing with you guys. So for me personally, I'm still continuing to make that decision to get the goodies from both Bookish Box and Darkly Box. So yeah, I wasn't wowed by this box, but definitely don't feel like it was their worst box. My favorite item was actually the acrylic book holder. And yes, I can't reuse it right now just because I do not have the surface for it, but I'm hoping I can use it at some point in the future. As always, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on these items and your overall feelings with this box. And don't forget to like this video if you want to see me do more unboxings. On to the main part of this box, and that is the book. we have Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver, and I'm so damn excited to finally get this book. Our featured title is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. Every serial killer needs a friend. Every game must have a winner. When a chance encounter sparks an unlikely bond between rival murderers Sloane and Rowan, the two find something elusive: the friendship of a like-minded, pitch-black soul. From small-town West Virginia to upscale California, from downtown Boston to rural Texas, the two hunters collide in an annual game of blood and suffering, one that pits them against the most dangerous monsters in the country. But as their friendship develops into something more, the restless ghosts left in their wake are only a few steps behind, ready to claim more than just their newfound love. Can Rowan and Sloane dig themselves out of a game of graves, or have they finally met their match? I'm so excited to finally have this book. But before getting into all the details of our exclusive luxe edition of Butcher and Blackbird, we do need to go over our last bookish item, and that is our coverless sticker. The cover of our exclusive luxe edition Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver is too beautiful to display only on your shelf. Place this exclusive coverless sticker on your e-reader or keep it in your reading journal. And that's how I use it. I just put it in my reading planner / journal where I put my thoughts on the books that I've read. So that's how I use it. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our exclusive luxe edition. It, of course, is signed by the author. We have beautiful character art on the front dust jacket. And I love this, that it's one side of them and then this is the other side. If you're not into character art on the cover, they do have a reversible dust jacket. We have a beautiful foiled hardcover case. I'm loving this pink and black. It's like my two favorite colors. Stenciled edges. I really like the eyes and the knives. I think that's super cool. And lastly, we have illustrated end papers. Not crazy about the end papers, but overall, just love the design of this book. And seriously, I'm super excited to read this. I've only heard great things. Just been hearing people rant and rave about it and to hurry up and read it. And I was just waiting for the special edition. I have a friend who, like most of us, was really into reading as a young kid and throughout high school. And then once we got to college, you know, we got busy with friends. So she had a huge long break between reading, and it was actually Butcher and Blackbird recently that got her back into reading finally and excited to open books. So I have just been impatiently waiting to read this, and I'm so excited to finally have it. But it's gonna be a minute because if you guys remember, I had a whole bunch of boxes all show up at once. So where am I in my readings? So I'm on Dear Love, I Hate You, which is my second book from my Baddies book box for June. So that arrived a little late and didn't show up until this month. I should be done with that book by tonight. And then I can move on to The Hollow Plane, which was our last Bookish box book. So that was from the May box. Then I have A Sorceress Comes to Call, which was my Owl Crate adult book. And finally, I can get to Butcher and Blackbird, and I kind of really want to move quickly through my other books now simply to get to this one. So that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video if you want to see me do more unboxings, and make sure you're subscribed to join me for all the bookish fun. Thanks again.